Energy. If you're a living thing, you need it to stay alive. But you need it for lots of other things too, like working out, driving a car, or even reading a book. You need energy. Doesn't matter if you're a human, a raccoon, or even a plant, you need energy. And that energy comes in the form of food. Not that kind of food. This kind of food. Or this kind of food. Or even this kind of food. Gives us the energy we need. But regardless of whether we eat our food like animals, or perform photosynthesis to make our own food like plants, all living things have to be able to release the energy that's trapped within their food. And that happens during the process of cellular respiration. So what is cellular respiration?
Cellular respiration is the process by which cells in plants and animals break down sugar and turn it into energy.
It all begins with sugar, or a particular kind of sugar called glucose. Glucose has the chemical formula C6H12O6, which tells you how many atoms of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are in each molecule of sugar. Glucose is found in high amounts in starchy and sugary foods. Once we swallow the food, it goes down into our digestive system, where the food is digested into glucose. The glucose passes into our bloodstream. Our blood takes it to our cells, where it passes through the cell membrane into the cytoplasm. And this is where cellular respiration begins. The first part of cellular respiration occurs in the cytoplasm, and it doesn't require oxygen. In glycolysis, molecules of glucose are broken down. This results in the production of only 2 molecules of ATP, the chemical energy of all living things. This isn't nearly enough to live. So without enough energy, we move on to the second part of cellular respiration. The second part of cellular respiration occurs in the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, and it requires oxygen. So whether you breathe with lungs, use gills, or take in your oxygen through your leaves like a plant, oxygen is necessary. So what is the result of the second stage of respiration? Lots of energy. Stage 2 of cellular respiration creates 36 molecules of ATP. Now that's a lot of energy. If we look at cellular respiration as an equation, we can see that we take in glucose and oxygen and release carbon dioxide and water as we breathe out. And what do we get out of it? Energy. Whether we're running, swimming, or just growing, we need energy, and it comes from our cells.
But wait, what about organisms that don't use oxygen?
Some organisms, like single-celled yeasts and bacteria, don't use oxygen at all. So to make energy, they use a process that doesn't use oxygen, known as fermentation. There are 2 types of fermentation. Both require glucose, and both make a small amount of energy, but they have different waste products. Yeasts perform alcoholic fermentation, which uses glucose to make a little energy, but produces the waste product, carbon dioxide, and alcohol. Because of this, yeast is used in the making of bread. Carbon dioxide bubbles from the yeast make the bread dough rise. Bacteria, on the other hand, perform lactic acid fermentation. In lactic acid fermentation, glucose is broken down to make energy and produces the waste product lactic acid. Because lactic acid has a tangy taste, it's used to make tangy foods, such as sour cream, pickles, and cheese. There are millions of different living things on planet Earth, but one thing they all have in common is the need to make energy. Cellular respiration and fermentation make this possible. Thanks for watching.